Welcome to our session tonight with Charlotte-Mecklenburg school students. I'm sorry, I can't speak on this Friday night. It's been a long week. My name is Marcia Barnes, and I am the founder and sole operator of the Finance Bar. The Finance Bar is a mobile hub that's based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And what we do is we are a traveling hub. And when I say a traveling hub, it is an actual bus that I had outfitted to teach financial literacy on it. I am a certified financial educator, and some of the things that we do, which includes a circle of financial literacy teachings, is I teach about credit reports and how to manage debt and how to create a budget, how to save better, how to start a savings, and all of that fun stuff. The Finance Bar is dedicated to women and also young adults. So that will be you guys. And I am super excited about being here with you guys this evening, especially on a Friday night. So if you're here, then hello, and thank you for being here on a Friday evening. I know how it can be during the summer and everyone's trying to finish everything up and get the last minutes of fun in before school starts back. So again, thank you for being here. And for those that could not join us live tonight, then not to worry, because this session is recorded. So the awesome thing about this is that you'll be able to go back and listen to it over and over and over again and jot down notes. So if you're on with us live, then I encourage you that you take notes tonight. There will be a lot of information given, a lot of important information given. I did prepare for you, and I hope that you guys are on to ask me a lot of questions. I'm going to be here hanging out as long as you guys are here to hang out with me. So let's get ready to go. I'll be waiting on you. So let's get started. So let's see. First question is, what can students do now to financially prepare for the next big steps in their life? Well, I would say number one is to create yourself a very simplistic budget. Now, I will tell you is that one idea that I have, and I really hope that I can pull this off, is that I created a budget for high school students. And the reason why a budget, that many of you, I'm sure you've at least heard of the word budget, the reason why it's so important is it's somewhat like a GPS for your money. And what I mean by that is that it gives your money direction of everywhere it should go. So as an example, if you are someone that you like to frequently go out to the movies with your friends, you like to go out to dinner with your friends, you like to go bowling, you're someone that likes to get a haircut every week, every 2 weeks, go to the salon or to the spa, whatever that looks like for you, then you'll realize how much money that is costing you each month or each week. And then you simply compare that to how much you make. So if you receive an allowance, if you have a part-time job or whatever that looks like for you, however much it's costing you on each of those expenses per month, you'll have a place and a platform for it to go to, and a budget will do all of that work for you. So it's a really simple process. But again, I'm sure if you guys can go to Google and you can pull up a budget or a budget for teenagers or a budget for high schoolers, and you will, I'm sure, find information there. But as I mentioned before, that I'm really excited about, hopefully I can get this budget over to you somehow that I have created. Another thing that I will tell you that's really important is that to take your high school years academically and financially very serious. I'm sure at some point or another, many of you have said to yourself, I can't believe I'm already in high school yet. Or if you are going to be a senior this year, you can't believe that you're already a senior and that you are preparing to graduate. So it's very important that you take that serious, because again, for many of you after this year, you'll either be venturing off to college or you will be starting a career elsewhere. And what that means is that you will have some level of financial responsibility and financial dependency yourself. So it's very important that you start now to gain a level of responsibility, prove that you can be trusted when it comes to money, and really manage your money appropriately. You know, it's very easy to say that when we get to college that our parents are going to still be helping us financially and making sure that we have what we need, but on your own, those are steps that you can develop now. So those are just some things that you can do right now to prepare yourself for the next steps in your life. Is there anything else? Let's see if we have another question coming in. But as I mentioned before, I'll tell you is that a budget will be the single most important thing that you can begin to start to do right now. Okay, here's something else. We have another one. What is the easiest way to file your taxes? Okay, this is an easy one because I think that it is extremely important that when it comes to taxes is that you always seek out a professional to do that for you, especially in the earlier stages. If you've never done it before, is that you reach out to a tax professional, an accountant, or someone that is an expert in that area. And many times your parents or your guardian, someone that they use and that they trust, they can refer you to someone and research it. Really make sure that it's someone that's trusted, someone that has their credentials. And many times that is an accountant. That's the easiest way for you to be able to file your taxes. Is that I definitely don't suggest that you go out and try to do that on your own without having a clear understanding of how you do it, what you need to do, what the laws are in the state of North Carolina or wherever you may be. You need to have a full understanding what that is. So again, that's a very easy one because I would have to say that you seek out a professional that is an accountant to take care of that for you. You never want to be stuck really having to deal with the IRS, the government, or any state backlash from your taxes not being done correctly, because it can be a major headache if you do. So in simple terms, seek out the help of a professional. Next question, what do you think about TurboTax or options like that? TurboTax, I think, is a great option. I would say, though, for high schoolers, I would not recommend it, only because I'm not sure of your skill level to be able to do it. But TurboTax is a great resource, and it's a reliable resource. In your very early stages, such as now, if you're someone that just has a part-time job or you're really starting out to make income, then I definitely suggest, again, that you really work with someone that's a professional in that area before you start to do it on your own, unless you're already an expert in it, and there's no harm in doing it. But to be safe, I would say seek out a professional in the area to take care of that for you. Okay, let's see. In keeping with the budget answer, how can I best keep up with my money on a day-to-day basis as a student? Yep, you're correct. So again, that goes back to a budget. So if I'm at school and I know that after school I have friends that want to go out to eat, and when we typically go out to eat, it normally costs me at least $10 to eat. But my budget for the month may only allow $40 per month to be able to eat out with my friends. So I know that if I go out to eat one day and that's $10, I only have $30 left in my eating out budget to be able to do that. So that's a real easy way when you go from day to day and you think about how to manage your money, is that that's just how you do it. It's even if you go to a snack machine and you get a drink. Right? If you have $40 per month, snacks are included. That means if I spend $1 at the snack machine, I have $39 left. Instead of saying, okay, well, after school today, I'm going to go to the mall. We're going to go out to eat. I'm going to stop by a store. I'm also going to go buy me a shirt or a cute pair of shoes or some sneakers or whatever it may be. A budget will keep you safe because, as I mentioned before, it's a GPS for your money. So there may be some days that you have to tell your friends that you can't hang out today, or you can hang out, but you won't be able to spend any money to be able to do that. So on a day-to-day basis, the easiest way to do that is to always reflect on your budget. Or I'll give you another tip, is that if that is something that your friends often do, because my son was a graduating senior just last year, so he'll be a sophomore this year in college, is that to take your $40 out of your account per month, you can keep it in cash and you can keep it in an envelope. And once it's all gone, it's gone. So you have no money left for the rest of the month. But guess what? The great thing about that is that if you are also saving money for something, if you are someone that has a car payment, if you are someone that has to put money, gas money in your own car or pay your own insurance, all of that is taken care of because there's a place for it in your budget. So if you like to feel the cash, which many people do, they like to see their cash money. You take that $40, keep it in an envelope or your purse or your wallet. And once that $40 is gone for you to go out to eat, then you have no more money to eat out with. And that goes for movies or anything you want to do, is to really stick to that budget. Next thing. Cute. How do you have a child out of high school? I do. He's a product of CMS, and he is now a sophomore in college. Well, he will be. Okay, next question. Should I manage my fiduciary checking account or savings account on my own? Great question. Great question. Should you manage your I can't talk tonight, your fiduciary checking or savings account on your own? So for those that are not familiar with what type of an account that is, it basically means, the easiest way to tell you is that one popular account such as this is a trust fund. And typically with a trust fund is it's owned by someone but managed by someone else. Typically it's because a student or a teenager may not be of age yet and someone else is handling that account on behalf of them. Do I think you should manage your own account? I think that's definitely a personal decision. I will say that my belief is that that person that is managing your account now is there for a reason. However, I think that you should have full knowledge of what goes on with that account. And what that means, what I mean by that is that you should be fully aware of how much money is in that account, how much money should be paid out to you in that account in increments, because that's typically how it goes. That person is also in charge of, if you have any debt that you owe, that they pay that for you. Oftentimes it's someone that makes sure that you have enough money going towards your college fund. So it's basically like having your own little personal banker that handles your account for you until you're able to do that. Do I think you should manage that on your own? I would have to again say it's a personal decision, but unless you are fully knowledgeable of how to handle your finances and you are sure you can grab a hold of that yourself to be financially responsible, to make sure that you have what you need long term, then I say stray away from it. Allow the person that's handling it to do it now for you. And then as the years progress on, then that's something that you can take care of your own, but definitely have full knowledge of what goes on with it. Next, let's see the next question. Would you mind discussing business and entrepreneurship in general? What is it like for you as a business owner, and what are some tips for students who may want to start a business? So I'll start with, do I mind discussing my business as an entrepreneurship in general? No, I don't. I would love to. So being an entrepreneur, I would say that number one, it takes someone that is extremely passionate about what they do. And I am. That's why I'm here on a Friday night. And probably if it was Saturday or Sunday, I would do the same thing. And I probably could do it at midnight, because I absolutely love what I do, because I think financial literacy is just that important, not only to students, but also to adults. Is it a lot of work? Yes, it is. And it takes someone that, again, that's really passionate, someone that I would say knows how to manage their personal finances, which is, again, why this topic is so important, because many students, I know that after high school, college may not be the direction that you may go. I mentioned before that you may have another career, and many of you may want to be entrepreneurs. That's an awesome way to go. There's no harm there. What it's like to be a business owner, again, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of self-discipline. It's a lot of being sure of yourself, being confident of yourself, and it takes a lot of study. So while many entrepreneurs, their path is that they finish high school and they go directly to the world of entrepreneurship, I want each of you to know that it still takes a lot of studying and tons of reading on the topic that you are pursuing and that you want to be excellent in, because as an entrepreneur, that's the goal. You want to be excellent at what you do, no matter what that may be as an entrepreneur. What are some tips for students who may want to start a business? Is to start researching now as a high school student. So no matter what grade you are in, start researching that topic. Trying to find yourself a mentor that does exactly what you want to do, and get under the wings of them to really figure out what that life is like as an entrepreneur. So that's whether you do it as a part-time job or whether you are a full-time entrepreneur. What you want to do now is that begin to read up on it, begin to take business classes, and definitely find a mentor in your area that can really be someone that you can look up to, someone that you can learn from, and someone that will give you a true understanding of what it's like to be in that field and what it's going to take. So I think that's an awesome question. You can always reach out to me too. I'm always someone that you can reach out to, and I would love to help you, because that's another subject I'm very passionate about. It's entrepreneurship, because I absolutely love to do it. And I want you guys to know that. Okay, so anything else before we move on tonight? That was an awesome question. Love to talk about entrepreneurship, because it definitely also ties into money. Is that it's important to know that if you can manage your personal finances, typically as a business owner, you can manage those finances as well. Because that's something else, is that if you want to think of yourself as a business owner as on a day-to-day basis, when you manage your finances, always look at yourself as a business owner. If a business owner does not manage their finances every single day and every single month, then what would you assume would happen to their business? It would not do well. So it's the very same scenario as when it comes to personal finances. Should I get a credit card while I am in college? $1 million question, and I think that many college students want one. So, do I believe that you should introduce yourself to credit while you are in high school or college? I would say yes, but that doesn't have to always be in the form of a credit card. Number one, when it comes to a credit card, now a law was passed back in 2009 that says that someone has to be the age of 21 years old or older before they can receive a credit card, unless they have a co-signer. So that's number one, that's the law. Number two is they can receive a credit card, but they would have to prove that they have viable income to be able to pay that credit card back. Many times with credit cards, especially as a very young consumer with not a large credit line, is credit card interest rates can be extremely massive. So they can start between 19%, and I've seen some that's all the way up to 24.99%. So credit cards are not a bad option. However, there are other ways to really have a relationship with credit or a financial institution. As an example, a starter loan. So if you have a bank or you have a credit union, you can always seek out to get a starter loan, and it may be a loan for $500. It could be something extremely small, and you can start building your credit by just making on-time payments on that loan. And typically starter loans, the interest rates on those are very much lower than a credit card can be. And we all know that most banks and most credit unions offer some sort of credit card. So when you build that relationship up with your financial institution, then a way to move yourself into having a credit card is to pay a loan on time and then move your way up to receiving a credit card from them after you're able to really understand what that interest rate looks like. Because what you don't want to happen is that you get a credit card, you use a credit card, and the interest rate is sky high, so you never foresee yourself being able to pay the loan or pay the credit card back. So two options: a starter loan from your bank or your credit union, then move your way up to a credit card. And if you decide not to go that route and you do get a credit card, the goal is that whenever you spend money or you use your credit card, is that you pay that credit card off within a month's time, within a 30-day cycle. Instead of getting a $500 credit card, you charge up $300 on it, and then you take your time by making minimum payments on that credit card. That's not what you want to do. If you spend money on it, the goal is that you pay it off within 30 days of that payment cycle. So I hope that helps a little bit about that one. Let's see, next question. Can you expand on the importance of credit for a young person? Absolutely. So the reason why credit is important for a young person is that you want to begin to build a credit profile. Why is that? Because if you're in college, let's say it's your junior year, and you decide that you don't want to stay on campus anymore, and your parents are telling you, your parents or guardian are telling you, well, you know what, you can get an apartment off of campus, but I'm not going to get it for you. When you apply to get that apartment off campus, then they're going to run your credit. And most people or most companies want to see that you're able to pay your bills on time. And the only way they can measure that is if you've done that already. So that will either be having something on your credit card to show that you've been paying it on time, which is a credit card, or a loan, or some of you may already have a car payment. That could be another option. That's why it's important, because if there's nothing for them to see, a history of how you pay your bills, they have nothing to go by. And typically most companies want to see that, especially as a young person that's trying to rent out an apartment. So it's extremely important that you start to learn the ABCs of credit now, or as soon as you get to college. But I would say start that now so you can have some understanding of what you need to do to be able to establish that. Awesome question. Awesome question. What do you think about secured credit cards? I think that they're an awesome option. Here's why. Is because secured credit cards typically give you an amount to say, okay, it's $500, but many times you have to establish yourself by saying, okay, if you want that line of credit, you have to pay it first, and then you have the line of credit that's then given to you. It's a level of being able to build up that level of responsibility to say, hey, I'm willing to pay it if you give me a secured credit card. So I think it's a great option, but I think it's a great option to really be able to grasp the concept of how to gain responsibility when it comes to credit cards. So great option, but remember, that's another area that even though it's a secured credit card, there are still interest rates involved in that. So you want to be careful about what type of interest you're getting on any credit card. Next question. What are your personal thoughts on money? My personal thoughts on money is that money isn't everything, but we all know that money does matter. So for those high school students, you can ask your parents, or you can ask anyone that when we show up at a grocery store to buy food, then we can't just ask for groceries and they're given to us for free. So, and you can't go to college many times for free unless you have scholarships or grants or those types of things. So I think it's very important that we understand the concept of money and what it can do for you and what it cannot do for you. But always keep in your head that money is an important thing that can take you from step A to step B. Money, the purpose of money is, again, to get us from point A to point B and to make awesome things happen for us. But it can also be something that doesn't work in our favor if we don't know how to manage it appropriately. So I think it's very important, again, to know what it can and what it cannot do for you. Next question. Seems lots of students fear capitalism or that big business is a bad thing. Do you have any suggestions for books, apps, programs, or even your own classes to help students continue building financial literacy? So I think your question is that many students fear capitalism or that big business is a bad thing. Big business is not a bad thing. And here's why I think that is that with our economy, anytime business can change. And typically when business changes, it's because of the economy and the state that our country is in at the moment. So one thing that I will stress to you is that don't fear big business. It's just another part of life, and many times something that none of us can control. And again, a lot of it is because the state of our economy at the time. So are there any books, apps, programs, or even my own classes to help students continue building financial literacy? Absolutely. So I will say from my classes, from the finance bars, that I offer all types of classes, again, that range from creating a budget, creating a savings that works for you, how to manage debt, how to manage your credit report, or how to better understand your credit report. And then another topic that you guys just mentioned about being fearful of capitalism, I also offer a course about your money mindset and why you have some of those emotions about money. So that's another one. When it comes to apps, great question, because I have an app, the Finance Bar app, that you can download on iDroid, and it's also offered in the Apple market as well. And it's very simple because here's what it does for you. All you have to do is key in your monthly income. When I say monthly income, I'm speaking of your net income. Net income means exactly how much you bring home per month. So that doesn't include taxes. When you plug in that amount, it's going to tell you how much you should save per month, how much you should spend on rent or mortgage per month, how much you should spend on lights, pretty much everything that you can possibly think of. It will give you a percentage and the exact amount of how much you should be spending. And guess what? It's a free app. So please make sure that you go download that one. It's an awesome platform for you. Any other programs that I can think of? I would say that's a starter from the finance bar. Is that number one, the app? Number two, any of my courses. And I also offer a virtual members club. The virtual members club is my members receive each month a workbook on the topic of the month. They also receive monthly financial affirmations to keep them motivated. They receive a desktop screensaver so they can see it every single day to stay focused on our topic for the month. And they also receive a virtual session very similar to what we're doing now that includes myself and another personal finance expert in the industry. And we talk through the workbook, and we also talk about the topic of the month. So it's a great platform. The members club is $10 per month. So it's very inexpensive, but it's awesome, and it's an awesome community because it helps us to stay focused on our goals throughout the entire month. So I hope that helps a little. What are my favorite books? Oh, my favorite books. I'm going to turn around because I have a ton of them. So I would have to say my favorite books, and I'm going to share with you guys. Oh, here's a great one. This one is for parents, but for high schoolers, and I probably can't see it too good. This is a good one, but it also has information in here for high school students as well. And it's called Raising Financially Fit Kids. And there's a chapter in here for high schoolers all the way through college age. And it gives you some tips, again, on financial literacy, some activities that you can do. It gives you a lot of different books and resources that you can use as well. So again, Raising Financially Fit Kids. This one was extremely inexpensive. I think I purchased it on Amazon for like $9. And this is the second version, the revised and updated version of it. And it's by Jolene Godfrey. So you pretty much can't miss it. Raising Financially Fit Kids. That's one of my favorites. And let's see what else I have. For entrepreneurs, okay, here's a great one for those that want to think about being entrepreneurs. Here's one. It's called Go Givers Sell More. Go Givers Sell More. This is a great one because it teaches you about the goal of entrepreneurship should always be about serving others before it's about serving yourself to gain money. And why is that important? Is because you always want to serve others by pursuing your passion. You always want to think about the customer first before you think about yourself. This is an awesome book. Go Givers Sell More, and it's an extremely easy read. Let's see what else. I have tons, but I'm just trying to think of what would be best for you guys. Another one by Carl Richards. This is a great one. It's fairly new. It's called The One-Page Financial Plan, A Simple Way to Be Smart About Your Money. So hope you guys can see that one. The One-Page Financial Plan, A Simple Way to Be Smart About Your Money. And then there's another one that I don't have because it's downloaded on my iPad. It's by one of my friends and my buddy. Her name is Tiffany. She goes by the Budgetnista. So if you would Google her name, it's Tiffany the Budgetnista. And she has a book called The 1 Week Budget. And it is fantastic because, again, it's a very easy and inexpensive read. The 1 Week Budget by Tiffany the Budgetnista. How cute is her name, right? The Budgetnista. So you can't miss it. It's called The 1 Week Budget. Next question, any final tips for students or even for parents? Absolutely. Students, start today. Please do not ignore this. I'll tell you is that once upon a time, I dreamed about my son being very small, or at least being in junior high school forever. And now I feel like overnight, he is now going to be a sophomore in college. So time does not slow down. Again, your high school years are extremely important years to not only take it seriously academically, but financially. Financially, if you are prepared, there is so much that you can accomplish and a headache that you will want to avoid when you get older. It's extremely important. And I'll say the same thing for parents, is that as an adult or as someone that has a high school student, teach them very on to start budgeting their money. So here's an example. If we're dropping our kids off to college and we're saying, hey, I dropped $2,000 in your account for the year, that's something that we want to avoid doing, even if it's in high school, is that I dropped $50 of an allowance in your account for the rest of the week or the rest of the month. Do what you want to with the money. That's not the approach you want to take. We want to make sure that our students and our kids are understanding how to budget money, regardless of what amount that is, because it will definitely follow them all the days of their life. So in short, start now. Make sure that you understand how important money is, how important credit is, how important managing your debt is, and read, constantly read. Anytime that you want to reach out to me, again, do it anytime. My email address is very simple. It's hello@thefinancebar.com. I'm wide open for questions. Contact information, absolutely. So again, as I stated, my name is Marsha Barnes. You can find me on social media everywhere: Facebook, The Finance Bar; Twitter, The Finance Bar; Instagram, The Finance Bar; Pinterest, The Finance Bar. So any places that you can find me, I'm there. The email address is hello@thefinancebar. My goal is, and I hope, so everyone, hope for me, okay? I need cheerleaders out there that I can really stay in contact with Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. My goal for this upcoming year is to be at every single high school to talk about this before the school year is out. So please make sure that you cheer for me and that I'm there. Again, my name is Marsha Barnes. Anytime that you need me, please feel free to reach out. Thank you guys for joining, anyone that's here live with us. And again, this will be recorded, so please make sure that you listen to it as many times as you want to. Okay, good night, guys. Have a great weekend.